All right, welcome back to Problem Solver Politics. I am your host, Cardin Ellis, with Cody the Oracle.
Hey, everyone.
And today, Cody, what are we going to talk about? Hit us.
Well, the Democrat debates, the third Democratic debate just ended. And basically, we want to give you guys our thoughts on exactly what happened over the last 3 hours that we just sat through. Actually, they kind of gypped us. It was a lot closer to, like, if you cut this real time, 2 hours, 20 minutes, maybe. Breaks from the front end. We're recording at 7:55 p.m. and it's over. So, you know what I mean? Like, this was not actually a full-length, I don't say full-length, but it wasn't all 3 hours. Thank God. It was long and it drug on. So, first thing I want to get to, because this is the most popular thing when it comes to any debate relating to Andrew Yang, is how often did he get to speak? And once again, we saw he spoke last. Now, I just want to get this out of the way immediately. One thing that I kind of noticed watching this one live this time was you can look and you can notice the times he spoke was less. I'm not saying this makes up for all of it. It's not the reason why he was almost 2 minutes behind the last other person behind next to him. Part of it, though, is he kind of gives them the floor. He'll just stop talking and just say, okay, I'm done. And he kind of like gets his point across too well, where he can be concise. This is what I want to do, so we're going to do it. And because he doesn't just ramble and ramble and ramble, I think that's why we see him speak so little. As far as everyone else on this list, just really quickly, Joe Biden definitely came out swinging, which was interesting. He was very much on the offensive all night. He continues speaking the most. Bernie Sanders at one point fell to the second lowest amount of talking time because it sounded like he had some, I don't know, his voice was hoarse. I don't know if he was sick or whatever. Didn't sound great. I thought Cory Booker, if anyone you could say won this debate, meaning like actually is going to have a meaningful, like people will pay attention, I think it was Cory Booker out of everyone. I thought he gave some good answers. He came across pretty personable, and he didn't really say anything that outrageous or crazy, so I thought that was good. Beto O'Rourke had an exhausting 9 minutes and 25 seconds of talk time.
Oh, it was painful.
Felt longer. Amy Klobuchar snuck in there at 10:25. Didn't really remember him. Thank you, Ty Cadman. Julian Castro was okay. Buttigieg had a couple of decent things, but a lot of nothing. Kamala Harris was tired or sick or taking medication or something. I don't know. She came across very, very bizarre. And then Elizabeth Warren, there was a couple moments where she didn't look so great, and there was a couple moments where she looked not that great, so I don't know how much more. So that's just like the card. I don't know how you felt.
I thought Joe Biden... See, Joe Biden is getting good what's called debate prep. And Andrew Yang needs to get whoever Joe Biden is hiring, okay, and needs to employ them full-time before the next debate, okay, because Joe Biden definitely came out and said, okay, enough of this just running on my record and being the de facto nominee just based off of name recognition. I'm getting people taking these chunks out of me with these attacks, and I'm going to attack back, and I'm going to attack back with what's his biggest asset, his experience as freaking vice president, numero dos. His wife is the second lady, okay? And he did come out, and he literally said, I'm sorry, the senator here wants this, while the senator here wants that, and both of them are wrong, and let me tell you what it's like in the Oval Office when you got to make the real decisions like a big boy. Okay, and he came across as the big boy that was putting in line the misbehaved children in the classroom. And so I think Joe Biden got supporters back tonight. I think you will see an uptick in Joe Biden. And, you know, I'm reading the chat here, and Marianne H. says, I'm sorry, I hate to say it, but I think Yang is done with. I don't, that's a little bit too apocalyptic for me. Some people are saying, oh, Yang won the debates. No, there's no way you could say Yang won those debates. He definitely would stop. He would answer the question and almost commit the error of answering the question. You gotta answer the question, but then also interject how your policies will help people. Okay. And I said this in the chat, and I'll say it again here in the VOD. Andrew Yang, you, my friend, we're talking CEO to CEO, mano to mano, entrepreneur to entrepreneur, capitalist to capitalist, okay? You are none of those things anymore right now. You are a politician, and politics is a game. You yourself said the sport of pro wrestling is most like politics. So you got to study what wrestlers do. You got to get the heat. You got to get that pop. You got to make sure the crowd goes wild. You got to interject when the guy is talking smack on the other side of the arena and make the whole crowd go crazy for you. Politician now, my friend. You're not a CEO who's sitting in front of a big, huge screen, walking out as a thought leader with no tie on and a blazer and these cool jeans and these tennies that make you look hip in Silicon Valley as all of these interns and young tech bros wait upon you with bated breath. That's not the situation you're in anymore. This isn't a boardroom where they have to listen. This isn't a company meeting where you have the bully pulpit. You are now a minnow swimming with sharks.
Hold on. I want to add one more thing.
Okay.
I think this is important. I just want to bring it up.
Yeah.
So, what do you think is what's, a lot of people, we actually did a video asking what is Andrew Yang's big surprise he's planning for the debate, right? You wanted to know.
Oh, yeah. We thought he was going to announce UBI in 10 states.
Well, you can't really pay that much, but he announced a plan to give 10 families $1,000 a month. However, this is the media headline. What does the media say about this? They say it drew giggles, Oprah gifts, it was memed on, and legal concerns. So that was the other part of the debate for him. So we have to add this into his performance. I have to admit, I'm not as on board with this, only because, like I said, I think it's a cool idea to do. But the thing is, I know people who attack Andrew Yang claim he just wants to give people stuff, so it adds too much. Someone else brought up there was no talk about automation, and that is really interesting. They had normally sort of touched on it in the first two debates, didn't bring it up at all. Have to bring up the question where Kamala got her soul stolen, where Kamala went on this big rant about what Trump didn't do or something along the line, and the person asking the question was like, well, you were you were the attorney general, I believe, of a state, or the head prosecutor, and you did none of those things. As a matter of fact, you actually did the opposite of those things.
Yeah, seriously.
And she's like, oh, thank you for asking me that question, and then just kind of filled for a few minutes and did nothing to say. So that was really interesting. Right now I'm trying to pull up as well. I want to pull up some immediate kind of, first take polls after the debate, right?
Okay.
See where everyone is on the first polls. So, Cardin, what I want to ask though, what did you think when I believe it was the third debate in a row, there was protests that interrupted a speaker?
Oh, yeah. Now, these were aggressive protests. I mean, usually there's one or two people that are like, holler, 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 and security gets to them before they're, 15 seconds into whatever preconceived chant they concocted.
It was a bad chant, though. No one knew what they were saying.
Please, can you message us if you know what they were saying? One guy said he thought they were saying no hay papel. You know what I'm saying?
What does that mean to English
that means
viewers?
There's not paper, which in America would insinuate there's no toilet paper. So he suggested that somebody had run out of toilet paper in the bathroom, which is a very funny yet juvenile joke, but I very much appreciate. So anyway, I just think this is what happens when you let the media control a conversation, the mainstream media, who has gotten drunk on its own power and its own access that it's had to establishment, DNC, operatives, and candidates. The most boring, ugly, divisive, hateful, and angry conversation you can even call a conversation that I've seen in modern politics in recent memory.
What? It was divisive and hateful, man.
Yeah,
it was boring.
All they did was call white people racist,
No,
Trump
they didn't.
supporters
Come
racist,
on.
Donald Trump racist.
That's not what happened.
Yeah, what do you mean it's not what happened?
That's not what happened.
He said, there's systemic racism America that America perpetuates.
Dude, as a matter of fact,
I'm sorry, I'm American. I don't perpetuate racism.
As a matter of fact, I thought they actually stayed away from that for the most part.
I take that crap seriously. And you can't tell me what Beto O'Rourke was shilling out there was an absolute hogwash BS taken straight out of a gender studies / what's the major African American studies or whatever it is where they teach people to hate white people in colleges now.
Oh my God. I
All
don't
those
know.
BS majors that the kids teach, like gender studies. What? Come on.
Yeah, I would say it was a lot more.
I've never met a
moderate
gender
than that.
studies major.
Why are we talking about this? It has nothing to do with the debate.
I was talking about BS majors that just they're anti-majors.
Okay,
They're
how
just
about
like
this?
they teach you to hate this magical patriarchy that they can't define.
Okay, whatever. I have another thing I want to show you guys.
Okay.
So, which candidate again do you think had the most Twitter growth during the debate? What do you think? If you had a guess. Again. I guess I spoiled it with again.
Last time it was Andrew Yang.
Yeah, it's like saying we're going to have a new one. Like, so the champion's going to lose. Anyway, Andrew Yang gained 7,566 followers during the debate. What does it actually translate to, though? I think where it gets interesting. Even when you factor in for relative growth by percentage, Andrew Yang still would be the number one, the highest grower. Thought that was really interesting. He did it again. He does it all the time. He did it again. So it was really cool. Again, like we've said, Andrew Yang, king of Twitter, for whatever reason, dominates Twitter. We see both as far as raw numbers and also looking at percentage gained of relative growth. He is the highest. That was really interesting. So what were some other big things from the debate? I have to admit, we just watched it for, like I said, not quite 3 hours. They gypped us on it. It ended at 45. Even though it was long and exhausting, it ended at 7:45. What is this? I didn't even go the full 3 hours. But the other big takeaways I was having, I guess, Andrew Yang, that was the big one. He had a couple answers that were great. I actually didn't love his China answer. I really didn't. I didn't think it was that good. Mostly
I
delivery.
like that he came across as well measured, saying,
but the delivery wasn't great. It was weak.
Okay, I'd say 8 out of 10. I wouldn't say weak. I would say it was a B performance. It was a B performance.
Was not great.
Yeah. I mean, I hate to say it, but that was kind of like his whole night. Well measured words, good answers, a couple of great answers, but none that I perceived as a breakout, except for when he did get those 2 questions in a row, he came across as very, very authoritative, compassionate, humanity first, knowledgeable. He did have that one really, really good moment.
Oh, look at this. This is a poll from NewJersey.com. It's one of the post-debate polls.
Okay.
However, Andrew Yang, second place, trailing only Bernie Sanders, who I didn't think had a particularly strong debate. Like I said, his voice was hoarse. That seemed to limit him during the debate. It wasn't particularly strong for him. We see Warren is there. Biden, I thought it was, I honestly, if anyone, quote unquote, won the debate, I thought Joe Biden did a pretty good job to hold his lead, right?
Yeah, Joe Biden did a really good job.
Yeah, I don't think he gave up an inch tonight. I thought he did a pretty good job holding what he had.
No, in fact, I think he gained back followers. I'll be honest. Tonight, I think he gained back followers.
It's not a bad point.
You know, I think there was people that felt comfortable with him, but then because of his gaffes and the lull in his, his enthusiasm and activity, they kind of stopped supporting him, and he won them back tonight because he came across as the moderate adult in the room. The only person that did as well as him, without being biased towards Andrew Yang, I really honestly think was Andrew Yang.
How about this? What do the people on whoops, don't want to spoil it. Okay. What did the people on Google say as far as the people what were they searching for on Google tonight?
I don't know. Well, Andrew Yang? The UBI? Oh, democracy dollars.
No, Andrew Yang. Okay. Thursday Night Football, 2 million. Shawn Mendes, 100,000. Thursday Night Football, 2 million. Sam Darnold, 500,000. Quarterback of the New York Jets. By the way, rip. Andrew Yang won't be happy. Speaking of, 200,000 searches, Andrew Yang.
Wow.
And then,
okay,
by the way,
good.
shout outs tomorrow's Friday the 13th. I just picked up on that. It was a search term.
Geez,
how weird is that?
You're right.
And then vaping and so on and so forth. But still, we saw, as far as Twitter growth, Yang did good. As far as Google searches, Yang's doing well. I have to say, though, I've seen some people mention this as well. The idea of giving, while personally I like the idea of doing like a UBI contest to test it out in 10 people. I understand, however, criticisms people level, and a lot of people are coming at him with that line of criticism. He's the free money candidate. He wants to just give you anything.
No, but this is where
it feeds into it potentially.
But who cares
I like
if it feeds
the
into
idea.
it?
I'm just saying that is the other end of it. There's a yin and a yang. There's both ends.
Let me tell you, Shannon. Okay, let me tell you, Shannon, that all PR is good PR when it comes to controversial political topics. Okay, all publicity is good publicity because they're talking about you. I would love it if people were saying, "Oh, Andrew Yang, isn't he that guy that's like buying votes by giving out $1,000?" Why? Because now people are actually having to see if that accusation is true. They're having to look into it. They're going to come across Problem Solver Politics video explaining the conservative cause or the conservative justification for UBI. There's going to be Yang gangers that reach out to these people when they're, inquire about it and say, "Oh, no. This is UBI. That's different. This isn't purchasing votes, my man. Purchasing votes is seductive socialism. This is capitalism that trickles from the bottom up where everybody starts from $1,000 a month." That is a huge difference. And we can only start having those conversations if people are asking those questions. So I don't care if Andrew Yang gives it out to 100 families if his campaign can afford it. Because A, it's going to be providing data that it works, and B, it's going to get people talking.
Well, also look at this. Twitter, The United States trends for Twitter show that just under Dem debate, it's Andrew Yang. And then it goes Cory Booker. Like I said, I thought Cory Booker performed well. I was saying Warren, I did not think Warren won. Warren got hit pretty hard in a couple moments, and she didn't really respond well. I would say relative to where they will be in a debate, it would be Cory Booker.
You know what's strange?
Following that rubric of who won. Following the rubric of who is going to see the largest gains, I think it'll be Cory Booker. However, we see Andrew Yang is the #1 trending person. Andrew Yang is the #1 Google search person. Andrew Yang gained the most Twitter followers, and I pulled up at least one poll where people have Andrew Yang just behind Bernie Sanders on the Northeast, where Bernie Sanders is very popular. So Andrew Yang did pretty well in the immediate aftermath as well.
All right. So anyway, guys, let us know what you guys think. Who won these debates? What were the breakout moments and why? Also, any post-debate coverage that you have with any measurable quantifiers or data that can support your theories, please include those as well. If you don't follow us on Twitter, make sure you follow us on Twitter. If you want to be engaged in a lot of these conversations, join us on Discord. If you want to contribute to the channel, there's both a PayPal link in the description of this video. You can also go to problemsolverpolitics.com and buy one of our hats there, or just simply give us a donation or a monthly donation. If you haven't yet liked this video, please make sure you like this video. If you haven't yet subscribed, please subscribe. And if you can share this to your friends on Facebook, even if it's a fake Facebook account, I'm just kidding. Make sure you share it with your friends on Facebook. And please always opine, be kind to each other, join the PSP army if you can. This is Problem Solver Politics. We'll see you guys in the next video.